Huh? What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Ogre and I'm going to be doing my review for the 2013 movie Thor the Dark World. So, in this movie, Thor is having to try to stop the Dark Elves from destroying the universe. They originally ran the universe for years before Thor's grandfather put a stop to them and stuff, but they're wanting to resume their powers and take over the world again and shroud it in darkness, and their weapon is attached to Thor's girlfriend Jane Foster, so he's trying to figure out a way to get this entity called the Ether extracted from Jane and also keep it out of the Dark Elves' hands. And everything. And the leader of the Dark Elves, the main villain of the movie, is Malekith, who is one of the most underdeveloped and worst villains of the entire MCU. I don't know that I say he's the very worst, but he possibly is the very worst. More than likely, I would say it. He's just a very bland and forgettable villain. But this movie is kind of a mixed bag for me. There are things about it that I absolutely love, and there are things about it that I just think are okay, and then there's things I don't like about it at all. So this movie is just kind of a mixed bag for me. With the exception of Natalie Portman, I think all of the cast are once again excellent in here, especially Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston as Thor and Loki. They're just once again excellent in this movie, and their constant bickering and fighting with each other is so much fun to watch throughout the whole movie. They're constantly bickering with each other and acting like brothers and stuff, but the way the movie is written is just really, really well done, and they work really good together in this movie and everything, and I love that about it. I think they really do a good job with that, and everything, and it also kind of slowly starts Loki on his redemption arc that he kind of fully comes full circle with in Avengers Infinity War, but this is one that kind of starts that redemption arc, but he's great too, and like I said, I love the whole dynamic between Thor and Loki. Brian Tyler does the score for this movie, and it's really, really good. Not super memorable, but it's good for the movie, and it gives the movie a grand and epic feel to it, which doesn't really fit the movie, but it's still just it's just a nice a nice score to listen to. I love the music in the movie. I think it has really good score and everything. It just isn't like a memorable one like you get with some Marvel movies have really memorable scores and some of them don't, and this one's one of the ones that doesn't, but it is really nice to listen to when watching the movie, and it's actually a little too good for the movie. The makeup effects and stuff on the Dark Elves looks really good. I like that they use practical and stuff. I thought they looked kind of creepy and cool looking and everything. That's really about the only good thing I can say about the Dark Elves and Malekith, though, is that they looked cool, because they were really forgettable villains and just not very well written at all. And the pacing is pretty decent. It's only an hour and 52 minutes, so it flies by pretty quickly and everything. It doesn't overstay its welcome or anything. I like that too. It kept it short and under 2 hours and everything. It worked really well, and everything. But that's about where my positives end. Most of the rest of this is going to be negatives and mixed aspects. The action is kind of a mixed bag. There's not a lot of really memorable action scenes, although the scene when Loki and Thor are escaping Asgard is a lot of fun, and everything. Part of that comes down to that whole dynamic between them two, Loki and Thor. They just work so well together. But that scene is a lot of fun, and then the final fight is okay. It's nothing super great. It's one of my least favorite final battles in any of these MCU movies, but it was okay. I will say that Natalie Portman, though, she just was not very good in this movie. She really phoned in her performance. She was being a little pouty McPout pants because Patty Jenkins left the project, which, from what I understand, they did kind of screw Patty Jenkins over, and I can understand her being upset, but she really let it show in her performance, because you could tell throughout the whole movie she was just acting very wooden, and like you could tell she didn't want to be there. She was only there because she had to be, because of contract obligations and stuff like that. So she was okay, but not very good. And she was a lot better in the first movie and Thor: Love and Thunder. But I've never really cared for her as Jane Foster, because I just kind of have always felt she kind of didn't fit the role, really, to be honest. But yeah, and the story is okay. It's the best when it's dealing with Thor and his family members. The stuff between him and his father and his Loki and their mother, little scenes like that are the scenes that make the movie work and everything, like just stuff like that. But as far as action and stuff goes, it's one of the most lackluster MCU movies. It doesn't have a lot of very good action stuff. I will say it does look pretty cool, though, and it does have some really great cinematography. I will say that's one thing I did like about the movie, is the cinematography is gorgeous, and it is a much better movie than people say it is, but it's definitely not a great one either. So it's one of those movies that I understand why people don't like it, but I do still get enjoyment out of it and everything. It's a mixed bag, but it's far from the worst thing the MCU has ever done. But it's definitely far from the best thing they've ever done either. It's just one of those, it's not super great, but it's okay. It's kind of a middle of the road movie for me. So I'd say I'd give it a 7 out of 10. It's really enjoyable. Could have been a lot better if Malekith would have been better written and the action would have been a little bit better. I think the movie would have been even better, but for what it is, it's an okay movie. And also, I love the little cameo of Chris Evans as Captain America pretending to be Loki, pretending to be Captain America. That little cameo is just so awesome, and the highlight of the whole movie. I just love it. I'd love to see a movie of just Loki mimicking the other Avengers, or not, maybe not a full movie, maybe like a short film. Actually, a full movie probably would overstay its welcome, or maybe have them do that on Disney Plus. Have a different short where he's pretending to be different Avengers. That'd be kind of fun to watch, and have everybody impersonating Loki, impersonating them. That'd be fun to watch. But yeah, so anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of Thor: The Dark World, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.